Hey Tyers, Darren here with another fly tying video. Today we're going to be tying a variant of the Dean River Tiger. Pink and orange are pretty hot colors for bright days on British Columbia's lower Dean River. The Dean River Tiger gives anglers a ton of confidence as it's a proven fly with a solid reputation. Anglers often report 20-pound plus silver steelhead hitting this fly with reckless abandon. When the fish first enter the lower Dean, they are fresh and aggressive. This George Cook steelhead pattern is unweighted, easy to cast, and the grizzly hackles add a fishy look to the fly. The marabou keeps a tempting profile in the water thanks in part to the fox hair wing. Just a little bit of flash is used on this shrimp pattern to catch a few glints of sunlight without turning this pattern into a disco ball. Okay, let's get started. Alright, let's get a fresh hook in the vise. I'm using a Tiemco 7999. It's a heavy wire salmon steelhead hook. We'll start by tying on our thread. This is a 6/0 fire orange. That's a uni thread. So the first material we're going to use is a little bit of fox. This Arctic fox tail, and I've got a short section here that I've got prepared. I'm just going to take our little handy toothbrush comb and comb out some of the small underfur. About the length of the shank is pretty good. We'll just tie that down. Go over those butt ends a couple times just to make sure that they're in there well. Next we're going to use a hot pink Estaz or crystal chenille. I'm just going to tie that in near the eye, just behind the eye, and I like to wrap that down. This is just kind of keeps the body even. I'll take my thread up right to where the wire wraps. This is a number 2 hook. I tie these on size 2, 1/0, and even into a 2/0. Not mostly in the 1/0 and number 2 sizes though. Alright, so as you can see, I'm kind of pulling back the fibers as I wrap this Estaz. That just helps build a little bit of a thicker body and helps to prevent any of these shiny fibers getting trapped underneath. You want to make sure you go all the way up here just to where the wire touches on the bend back on the loop. Tie that off. Trim that off. Right. Next I've got a longer section of Arctic fox, and I want that to be about the same. So again, I'm going to just hold the hair and comb out some of the underfur. Don't have to be too aggressive with that. It just helps reduce some of the bulk. And those underfurs, they basically just retain water. Makes it a little bit trickier to cast. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I like to spin these hairs in my fingertips just to help align them a little nicer. Tie down those butt ends. Make sure you give them a good firm wrap. Trim off the butts. Alright, next I like to add a little bit of Rhea feather. So I've got quite a bit that isn't really suitable for intruders or hobo spays or anything like that, but I'll take about 5 or 6 hurls and tie them on each side of this wing here. This just helps give the fly a little bit more of a shrimpy profile in the water. A little bit more movement. And if you don't have the Rhea, I wouldn't even worry about it, I don't think. You can use some ostrich if you like. Alright, next I'm going to tie on a couple hackles. I've got some whiting hot pink here. I just took this from the bottom of a dry fly cape. So I just want to measure that. And I put the feathers back to back, and I'll strip them both at the same time. Just pull these fibers off. And I'm just going to tie them in one at a time. Just want to tie them kind of along the wing here. Fold the stem back. And do the other hackle on the other side. Right. Now we got those in, we're going to take a nice piece of marabou. I'm going to strip a few fibers off the bottom. Make sure you got something with a thin stem. It's going to wrap really nicely. And then we're going to create a tie-in point near the tip. You want to make sure that you don't just tie it in by the tip, but you actually wrap backwards on here. Pull the tip back, wrap it, and trim it. I'm going to take my scissors. I'm going to just gently push down fibers on the top of the feather. This is going to help us wrap it so that everything lays nicely behind the fly. The threads at the eye of the hook. Just going to wrap. And every time we wrap, we're just going to stroke all those fibers towards the rear of the fly. I'm going to catch that with our tying thread here. So we want to add a little bit more durability to this fly. So what I'm going to do is just wrap back over this marabou a little bit, just to make sure that if the stem gets cut, the whole fly isn't going to unravel here. Just got a nice little clean head. Add a whip finish. You don't want to catch any marabou inside your whip finish head. And add another whip finish on there. Make sure you snug that knot at the bottom, trim it. I'm going to add a little bit of my special head cement here. Give that a nice durable finish. There you have it. That's my variant of the Dean River Tiger. Thanks for watching my fly tying videos. If you enjoy the flies, why not give us a like? If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to get all the latest fly tying tutorials. Do you have a fly that you'd like to see tied here? Post it in the comments below and we'll do our best to tie it in a future episode. I hope you join us next time, but until then, keep a hook in your vise.